Hello everybody, this is Bale. Welcome back to the channel. Today we will be discussing how to survive against the Oni in Dead by Daylight. The Oni is a multifaceted killer whose power requires you to adapt constantly in order to survive. This killer has a very high skill ceiling and as a result can be an outright pain to deal with in trials. I hope this guide will assist you in your study of one of DBD's most oppressive killers. Let's get started. The most crucial part of the trial when playing against Oni is the early game. That is because at the start of the trial, Oni-chan spawns without access to his power, Blood Fury. In order to build up his power, he needs to strike survivors and collect the blood they leave throughout the map. This is when the Oni is at his weakest, so you and your team need to take advantage of this time. Good Onis will play aggressively when looping at the start of the trial in order to get the early hits they need to build up their power. If you are healthy while looping the Oni and he doesn't have his power, do not attempt to save pallets. Throw them early if you must, because the second he injures a survivor, a strong snowball effect can occur. As you can see from this clip here, my teammates constantly allowed this Oni to hit them at the start of the trial, allowing him to build up his power quickly. It didn't matter that I was keeping my team healthy, this Oni was getting so many mouse 1 hits that he was building up his power without even having to collect blood orbs. This is the worst possible situation for you to be in as a survivor, so make sure to avoid it by throwing pallets early and aggressively completing generators in the early game of the trial. Despite how well you play against the Oni at the beginning of the trial, he will eventually gain enough blood to activate his Blood Fury power. At this point, he will have the ability to rush you down and one-shot you if you aren't careful. So how do you loop such a terrifying killer? Well, for one thing, an Oni with Blood Fury active becomes very loud and visibly bright. This means he will not be able to mind game pallets or windows without you constantly knowing his exact location. 9 out of 10 times, he will resort to blunt force rather than red light fakes and jukes in order to catch you. On top of this, Oni gives a loud noise notification when he is about to initiate a charge. When he begins charging towards you, you need to play as unpredictably as possible. Break line of sight so he can't easily rush you down. Abuse sharp corners that he can't get around quickly while demon dashing. If you fall from a height and then run directly underneath him, he won't be able to turn around in time to hit you. These tips should help you, but the best thing you can do is practice learning the duration of his power, his turning and lunge ranges, and how quickly he can gain his power throughout a trial. Next, we should talk about some perks that are good for Onis in general. A popular choice for Oni players is Infectious Fright. This perk causes survivors in the killer's terror radius to scream when another survivor is put into the dying state. If an Oni is currently using his Blood Fury, he will often use this information to rapidly down another survivor who gets caught out in the open. With 2 survivors now on the ground, it will grant massive snowballing potential to the killer while ensuring generator progress comes to a halt. It's important that you use my previously mentioned looping tips in order to ensure that Oni can't down multiple survivors with one use of his Blood Fury. A popular perk combination for Oni might be Tinkerer and Hex Ruin. Because Tinkerer makes the Oni undetectable, he can approach generators and easily get injure states to build up his power. On top of this, if his Blood Fury is ready to be activated, he can quickly dash to a far away generator and heavily impede its progress with Ruin. There are an assortment of other perks the Oni could benefit from, such as Sloppy Butcher, Enduring, Mindbreaker, and A Nurse's Calling. You will have to remain vigilant and plan accordingly if you suspect the killer is using any of these perks. Finally, let's talk about how you should interact with your fellow survivors. You generally don't want to play close to your teammates when Mr. Yamaoka is in your trial. He benefits greatly from injuring multiple survivors, and staying within his terror radius could make you a victim of Infectious Fright. Spreading out on generators is a strong strategy against any killer, but it's especially beneficial against Oni because of his power. If you are being chased by the Oni, try not to lead him to your fellow survivors completing other tasks. This might give him the opportunity to get some free injure states. If an Oni is camping a hooked survivor with Blood Fury ready to activate, somebody will have to commit to doing a 1-for-1 with the hooked victim. Then, wait until his power runs out, and he will be stuck as a simple mouse 1 killer. Take hits until you can rescue any hooked teammates, and proceed to the exit gates as needed. In conclusion, the Oni relies on early game aggressive plays and general survivor incompetence in order to use his power effectively. Drop pallets early, play around tight corners, and prioritize healing when playing against this killer. Alright, that's the end of this guide video. If you found the video useful and or entertaining, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.